Four Knights of the Apocalypse chapter 60 is finally landed, and I have to say, I love this chapter a lot. We have some really nice action, and by the end of the chapter, we finally get the fourth Knight's reveal. Full character design and everything, and even teases for the actual power that this character does have. And I cannot wait to talk to you about this in the video. But before all that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really does help. Don't forget to check me out on Twitter and Instagram if you want to see me post whenever, whether it be me talking about the chapters or whatever else I'm doing. And with all that said and done, let's get straight into the video right after that intro. So Four Knights of the Apocalypse chapter 60, titled Leonis in Flames, very aptly titled, especially with how this chapter goes out, begins where we left off last week with Percival encountering Pelgard and the reveal that Pelgard is the traveler that was fighting against Pelio. And I like how this little interaction was just, Pelio was wondering, wait, do you know this guy? Well, stay out of this, kid, blah, blah, blah. And Pelgard just straight up says that Percival is one of the four knights, and Pelio is shocked that it's a little kid. Then Pelio is asking, wait, how do you know it? This makes you even more suspicious. As Donnie comes in, grabbing Percival to pull him back, stating that he's Pelgard the Black Knight, and he's after Percival's life. As the rest of the knights put two and two together, that he is a Knight of Chaos. And they're amazed that Pelgard just straight up walked into enemy territory. But Pelgard's like, look, let me warn you. Don't try to stop me by yourself for glory or whatnot. But Pelio, and with the rest of the Holy Knights, before I get into this one page, I have to say, in the far right, is that one of the members of the Weird Fangs? I just noticed that. That's honestly really cool that a previous, I mean, he doesn't get any speaking rules, but that's just nice that he's in the background. But yeah, but Pelio just states, don't worry, we're not in this for honor or glory. And just as the group is amazed that more Holy Knights showed up, Pelgard turns around and walks towards the table where he left his gear, puts on his cape, and then all of a sudden, his armor appears out of nowhere as he says, well then, I'll push my way through by force. I will achieve my goals, as he slams his shield onto the ground ready for battle. Now, with the knights evacuating the citizens, Percival goes up and basically tells Pelio that he'll lend a hand, but Pelio says, don't worry about it, you leave. Don't blame me for it. As Holy Knights, it's our job to protect the Four of Prophecy, as he gets ready to attack Pelgard. And just like that, we get an image of the rain, and someone in shadow walking towards a ledge where Isolde is, as she's crying over her overreaction when she met up with Tristan again after the whole incident with Percival. And yeah, she's just sulking about how she just left Tristan, that there's no way she can be with him, blah, blah, blah. But then all of a sudden, this shadowy figure asks what's wrong and asks if they could join her. As Isolde says, just leave me alone, they appear next to him and just says, I can't leave a woman in tears alone. Just as Isolde is trying to get this person to move away, they then say, please don't say anything so sad. Tears are ill-fitting for someone of your lovely looks. And I love how Isolde actually does have some insecurities, that the fact that she's over 6 feet tall, and she's nothing good except for feats of strength, and that she's poorly suited for a man, apparently. Particularly Tristan, because Tristan's a lot shorter, I guess, than she is. But then the shadowy figure grabs onto Isolde, says, I envy that man if you think so much of him. To me, you are more lovely than anything. As the shadowy figure literally grabs Isolde by the hip, apparently, making her blush. As the shadowy figure says, no need to give time to small-minded men who chide you for your height. Join me and let's discuss love together. And I like how in this last panel of this page, we actually get to see a very faded silhouette of this character in the background. But I like how Isolde's like, I'm not just gonna fly into another man's arms. It's all for Tristan's sake, as she then notices what's going on in the town as people are fleeing from the Eastern Gate, as we then get the battle between Pelio and the rest of the Holy Knights as they face off against Pelgard. I have to say, these next 2 pages of action panels is actually really nice. It shows just how quick and efficient these knights are taking on this character, and how Pelgard, despite taking a few blows, is very formidable in his own right against all these Leonis knights. And apparently, Pelio managed to land a small scratch on Pelgard, as he says, got you now. And Pelgard notices something, how is this little cut getting me? And all of a sudden, he drops his weapon. And he's like, wait, what? And he seemingly struggles to turn his neck, as apparently he's like wondering, what's going on? I meant to lift my weapon up, but I dropped it on the ground. I tried to turn my head right, but it went left. As Pelio reveals that it is his magical ability, Perversiveness, as under this magic, just by landing a hit, now his opponent will do the opposite of what they intend to do. So that's something really, really cool. This actually reminds me of Shinji's ability from Bleach, with how his Sanpakto literally warps and changes the perception of people, and they literally do the exact opposite of what they mean to do. So this is actually a really nice ability, and it's very fearsome as well, as this could really mess with someone as they want to do something, but they then end up doing the exact opposite, and Pelgard is seemingly struggling. So while it doesn't seem like Pelio is physically superior to Pelgard, his magical ability seems to be turning the tide in the knight's favor. But then Pelgard unleashes a huge blast of his blaze magical power, knocking the rest of the knights back. As he says, "I will crush you using nothing but my magic." As we then see this big blazing ball, as it exploded, it launches a bunch of debris up, flaming, going all over the place, and it heads towards Isolde's location. Basically tries to brace for the impact. This shadowy figure says, "Wonderful, such a fine mood we had going," and it's ruined, as they lift their finger with a tiny ball of energy as the debris shatters in place with a big explosion. As Isolde asks, "Who are you?" With the final page revealing that it is Gawain, the fourth knight of the apocalypse, as she says, "I am the master of the sun, Gawain." Ending the chapter, and my god, was that an awesome reveal. Everything was built up for this nice little reveal for Gawain, and I think aside from Lancelot, Gawain had probably a really hype introduction in this chapter. While Tristan's wasn't exactly like the most hype, Lancelot's was the most hype, and I liked that Tristan is basically like rivaling, and I like how Gawain is rivaling that of Lancelot's introduction. But yeah, this whole arc was meant to introduce the rest of the four knights and set up the conflict with Camelot and answer some questions. And I'm really happy that we got Gawain in this chapter. Now, remember in my last video when I talked about something that one of my friends brought up, and that is essentially the fact that there was this tall woman walking in the background where Tristan and his squad were looking for Gawain, and it seemed to keep walking around the same time as Shion being suspicious and walking away. And in the initial fight between Pelio and Pelgard, Gawain, this character, was specifically in the background. And with how the design is, with the knight-like boots that Gawain has, this is something awesome, because Nakaba just hit her in the background for this the last like 3 chapters. That is an insane level of just hiding in plain sight. And I have to say, props to you, Nakaba. You really had this going, because it's literally like a blink and you'll miss it moment twice. And I loved it. And this is honestly a really hype reveal, and I can't wait to see Gawain's actual color palette. Whether she'll have, well, black hair or it's like a different colored hair. Now, as for her ability, lifting her finger in a similar way with a little ball of energy to shatter everything, stating that she is the master of the sun, come on, it's obvious Gawain has freaking sunshine. And honestly, to think that that theory was actually right, I was prepared for this, for not going to just turn it over, and just be like, yeah, no, this character does not have sunshine. But hey, things happen, and I'm honestly really happy that I was right, because this is really hype, making the fourth knight's reveal even more powerful. And I'm feeling the next chapter, Gawain's going to go onto the scene and subdue Pelgard, just to show how powerful she is. If she does have sunshine, oh boy, I can't wait to see it in action. And it actually makes sense for why Gawain let go of her armor. Maybe for 2 reasons. One, so she can actually walk around without being noticed and see Leonis for what it is. And 2, it's possible that her stature increased similar to Escanor's as the sun rose, along with her power. And this is, I think, as the day has gone down, so maybe it's more comfortable for her to walk around without her armor. So we'll see Gawain without her armor most likely for the rest of the series, save for a few other moments. Now, here's the thing a lot of people were wondering about before Gawain's introduction. The prophecy initially said that all 4 of the 4 knights were young lads, meaning that they were young boys. But a lot of times prophecies can be wrong, or just thinking of what it is, because we've seen that most holy knights are guys. So it's possible that it was just an assumption, since they were very young. But Gawain and other characters for 7 Deadly Sins, and now we see that there are female holy knights more as they become more prominent. Or it could be another route where Gawain was raised to be similar to a man. So it's possible that she was treated as a man, or maybe Gawain views himself as a man. So that would add a nice trans character to the main cast, making things a lot more interesting. Or Gawain, based on how Gawain's basically been hitting on Isolde, perhaps she is into girls, and that would add another level of a nice little layer of representation to the main cast also, which is honestly something really nice that I have to say. But we'll have to think of how things are going to go from the story as the chapters release. Now, we do have a break next week, so that's a full 2 weeks without the 4 nights. I'm planning to get a video out in that time span just so I can upload regularly, but whether it's focused on the 4 nights or not, I still have to think about it. But for now, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you let me know your thoughts and opinions down below about Gawain's reveal, about her having sunshine, about the whole prophecy angle of her introduction, and just all of the juicy bits that we got. And now Nako basically like teased us for like two times in one chapter, and not many people realized it. Now, also don't forget to check out my Patreon and my Ko-fi accounts if you want to support the channel more directly. I do have a lot of more bigger projects that I want to get done as time goes on, as this channel has been growing very steadily, and at this point of me recording, we're at 1,700 subscribers, and we're very close to 2,000. And if we keep growing, by the end of May, hopefully, I'll reach the 2,000 subscriber mark, which is the fastest this channel has ever grown. And I can only see this going up as I want to make more anime and manga content, as well as more 4 nights content in the future. But yeah, with all that's been done, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys liked this chapter also. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. And I hope you all have an awesome day.